Hello and welcome to Motors for the Masses in what is a Mustang video, but there are some massive changes in this one. But it's not all as smooth as you might think. So let's roll the intro and get cracking. So one of the biggest updates is this: the engine and gearbox are finally in. Yes, the engine is in, it's mounted in, ancillaries are on, the gearbox is in. But again, not all as I'd expected. Now, the people who were doing this were supposed to have the car for about 3 weeks. However, it's now been over 12 weeks and I've just got the car back. And the engine is in, but it is, in fact, let me show you. So even though the engine mounts are on and they've been made and they're nice and sturdy and everything moves, that the engine moves with the car, there is the gap between the reservoir here, this is the servo, the brake reservoir, is probably about 3 millimeters. And I'm worried that's going to hit. I might end up having to put a remote servo on this because it just isn't going to happen. I really think it's going to hit. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just feels like it's going to. I certainly can't get a finger down there, and not even half a finger. That's about 3 mil. They've made the alternator bracket, and they've made a completely new bracket for the alternator down the bottom there, but it doesn't line up. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but it's a little bit to the left. Again, only a couple of mil, but it's enough for maybe putting tension on the belt, and it might make it pop out of that pulley there. I don't know, but that, again, that can always be adjusted slightly until it's completely level. It's only maybe a mil out, so that's not too much of a problem. The carb isn't on, but again, it doesn't matter too much because I'll show you the carb. It's a lovely one. So the carburetor is there, that will go on. Haven't put it on because obviously the car's going to be sprayed, so we don't want anything getting in there, but they could have blocked the holes up, so that's not a problem. But anyway, that's something that needs doing. One of the big things is that the exhausts are not on. Now, one of the headers has got to be modified slightly, just that front one to go on. But for now, they're not on at all, so I'm going to have to put the headers on myself. If it gets too tricky, I'm going to pay someone to do it because I don't want to mess it up. I think I'll be able to do it because they're 4-branch manifolds and you can sort of take bits off and put bits on, so it shouldn't be too bad. Massive stonking 3 each things, but they're short curved headers, so they should go in the gap, but that front one is going to need modifying. This side they didn't even look at, so I don't know what I'm up against with this side. So that's going to be another interesting thing to look at. Because obviously they've made the engine mounts as well, I don't know if they're going to foul on the engine mounts. That is a problem I'm going to have to sort out myself. So on the front here, obviously we've got the beefed up anti-roll bar, massive chunky thing, beefed up bigger springs and the beefed up shocks on the front end, and the new front discs as well. Big, lovely, black, huge drilled and grooved discs. On the back, apparently the new shoes didn't fit, so I've got to sort those out. But the new drums are on, the new springs are on, again, beefed up springs, and the new beefed up rear shocks as well. Now, inside, I am a bit disappointed again. There's no sign of the quick shift. It's still in that box and it hasn't come out of that box. It should be in here, but it isn't. So I'm going to have to get that fitted. And I found the oil filter on the floor, so I'm going to have to put that back on. Obviously there's the old shocks and the old springs and the old shocks for the rear. The headers are there, as you can see. They need going on at some point. The seats and interior I'll worry about later. So yeah, there's still things to do, and I am a bit disappointed as to how it's turned out, but at least the engine and gearbox are in, and that's the important bit. Oh, and the other big thing, the prop shaft is still sitting there, and unfortunately that won't do any good there. It needs to be under there. Now, in terms of the prop shaft, this bit that goes in the gearbox, you've got the UJ there, and there's another UJ at that end. I don't know if that prop shaft is going to fit the C6 gearbox, but again, find out. If it doesn't, might have to just change the UJ on this, but if not, there is a company that can make me a prop shaft for about 300-400 quid, so I might have to go down that route, but that is for another time. Meanwhile, over here, ready to go on are the front wings, or front fenders for the Americans amongst us, the doors, the boot, the lower front valance, the bumper, and the rear spoiler. Now, when I got this spoiler, it didn't come with any connections, so we've had to make some. They've been made, connections on there. Rather than go for the original, might go for a couple of square block steel poles to fit onto the car, just to make it a little bit different, because it is a resto mod after all. Resto mod, retro mod, I forget. Anyway, so yeah, oh hello, easy. So that's ready. They've had the base coat ready to be sprayed, but obviously they've got to be rubbed down again, and a few blemishes have got to be sorted out, so that is what's happening next. We'll be back in here tomorrow doing preparation on a couple of blemishes that we've seen on the rear wing, or the rear quarter panel, so a couple of blemishes need sorting out. Seen another small rust hole on the inner wing on the other side that needs sorting out. And there's one little dent in the roof that we need to sort out. And then the panels are going to go on, doors will go on, wings will go on, bonnet, which is over there, will go on, and then we'll get the car sprayed. You're going to see that in this video. I'm making that as part of this video, so stay tuned very shortly for that, because it'll be coming soon and you'll see it. This is a slight hint as to what the colour is, but it's not what the colour is, because it's matte and it's only just a base coat. I can show you what the colour's like. I'll bring you over here. I realise I'm cutting my head off as well, I'm stooping down. So I'll bring you over here and I shall show you a hint of the colour. So obviously it's going to be different in the daylight, but there's a hint of what the purple is like. Metallic purple. Obviously again, these have got to be sprayed over, rubbed down, etc, etc. So there's a hint of the purple that's going on it. Then once it's been sprayed, this is the next job. Now again, I'm not touching the wiring because I know nothing about it. It's going to someone who is an expert in wiring, and he's going to wire the car up and plumb it up to get it running. That won't be in this video, but what you will see coming up soon is some more bits of the process of what's happened with the engine fitting. It's been very difficult to get down there, very difficult to get hold of people, and very difficult to get video and photos of the process, but I've done the best I can. And the process next of preparing, that's a good word, it should be a word, preparing. You're preparing the car and seeing it in its colour. So stay tuned, because that's coming now. So when I said you'll see the colour, what I meant was you'll see the start of the colour. The reason why is because it's going to be another week and a half to 2 weeks before the car is actually being painted, because now comes the complete prep of the body. So you can see that the panels are going on, everything's getting ready, but we've got to completely prep and rub down the body, make it nice and smooth, ready to be painted. And that's going to be about another week or so. So I didn't want to wait until that was done before this video came out. So the next video will have that colour reveal, as in the car will be sprayed. So just a quick sum up what we've done in this video. Obviously the body has been prepped, and it's not just a matter of prepping the body, it's everything's been done. All the tiny little dents that we highlighted in the last video have all been smoothed out and done and sorted out. As I said in the video, a bit disappointed with where the engine and gearbox has gone. It's taken a long time and it hasn't got to where I want it to get to. So it's going to have to go to someone else who is going to do the exhausts. And when I say that, I'm going to have a go at putting the headers on myself. If it becomes tricky, I don't want to get annoyed with it, so I'll take it to an expert and get them to do it. However, I am going to have the exhaust made up. Now, I've got the headers with a 3-inch outlet. So I'm going to need a 3-inch flange made up, reduced into probably 2.5 inch, with a centre box either side, probably a cherry bomb, something like that, nice and old school. And then will be the side exit exhausts. Now I already know I want the 3 oval tailpipes coming out of the side of the car just in front of the rear wheels. So all it needs is a straight pipe coming off the 3-inch flanges, because they're long tube headers, into 2 silencers, and then a short pipe into the 3 outlets either side. So that's going to look and sound epic. So yeah, I'll have a look at doing the exhaust myself. Some of the wiring we're going to do ourselves, and then it's going to go off to the expert to be properly wired for the rest of it, which will also include setting up that carburetor as well, and hopefully fitting that B&M quick shifter, which something else that wasn't done. And something else that wasn't done is the prop shaft. Still sat in the side of the car, didn't move a muscle. Not they've got muscles, I suppose, brake horsepower muscles. Anyway, so yeah, that prop shaft is either going to have to see if it's fitted. If it doesn't, I'm going to just take measurements and get someone to make one. There's plenty of prop shaft makers out there in the UK, so I'll just get one made up, 300-400 quid. I'm hoping they're still that price. Anyway, I've also put feelers out, and I'm making inquiries for a new headliner. I've got the old headliner with the bars, so I just want one made to match. The carpet, I've got the carpet, but I want a new carpet going in there. I've got the seats, obviously, and the seat belt harnesses, and the rear bucket seats. So yeah, it's all coming together. Wheels and tyres are done. I do have to send the brake calipers off to be redone, because they're a bit meh. So I want new piston kits put in those. I think I'm going to send them off to be done. Again, send them to an expert and get them to do them. And the rear brake shoes apparently didn't fit, so I've got to try them out. They put the rear drums on, but not bothered putting the old shoes back on, so I'll see if the old shoes fit, because the old shoes look brand new, to be fair, as did the rear master cylinders, or the rear brake cylinders, sorry. So I'll check those out once we've got the car sprayed and it's up on the ramp. Might even have a go at getting that B&M shifter put in ourselves, and once it's up we can have a look at the front brakes as well, just to see where we go. But for now, it's getting there. The body is straight. All the panels are on, apart from the bonnet, which we're putting on next week, so you'll see that in the next video. Also the boot and the boot spoiler, and we're not going with the conventional risers for the boot spoiler, we're making our own, so stay tuned for that and we'll show you what's happening there. And that's pretty much it. So I'm pretty pleased with the progress. It's coming on quite nicely. So stay tuned for the next one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back next time with something else. I've got a Benelli 702X coming in the near future. I've also got the brand new Peugeot PM01, I think it's called, motorbike. That's coming next week. So I've got that for a couple of weeks. So I'll do a couple of videos on that, hopefully. And I've also got the Vosges DS650 coming as well in the immediate future. So stay tuned for that also. And that's all I've got time for. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, please ride and drive carefully, but have fun. Bye-bye.